Now this right here in front of us is obviously the Boeing 777, but it looks odd because it's so huge. I mean, this is what a normal 777 looks like, and this is what our 777 looks like. Yes, everybody, in today's video, we're going to talk about the plane of the decade, the upcoming Boeing 777X, which is the longest plane we've ever built, and also it's the plane with the most strongest engine, the GE9X engines that could provide over 110,000 pounds-feet of thrust. And we can fly it now in the flight simulator, but it sucks. See, the developer of M-Scenery brought out this plane this week, the 777-9, for 11 euros, which is all their planes are like, and yeah, all their planes were never really good, and I have no idea how their ratings are so good. 4.9 stars for the 777-9, 4.3 stars for the old 777-200 that they brought out a while ago, which makes no sense to me. I mean, look at those windows. This looks like PS2 graphics. And this thing almost has 5 stars. I have no idea how they did it. The 777-9 is the flagship of Boeing's next generation 777 family, combining the proven reliability of the 777. Shut up. This thing's supposed to be able to bring unprecedented realism, ensuring an immersive and authentic flight experience every time. There's no way that is at all truthful. But let's take a look. See, after all, this is pretty exciting. Why? Because we don't have a 777X, the 900, for any flight sim, which is a shame because it is very different to other 777s, especially in the cockpit. Because you're gonna spawn into this airplane and wonder, wait, why in the world does it have a 787 cockpit? See, normally all 777s look like this. We're greeted by this very classic 777 cockpit that especially has this cream beige color. But this is what the 777-9 cockpit looks like. Really very different. It looks very much like the 787. Like, I would like to get like very close to it to examine the exact difference, but there is literally none. All that's a bit different is the yokes. Like the 787 yoke is a little bit, thinner, bit of a different design than the 777-9. Oh, wait, no, never mind. That yokes look kind of... They're the same thing! It's just the same cockpit? No, it's a very different airplane, and that's very exciting because I love the 787 cockpit as long as you don't do this. So it makes sense then that the Addon developers of M-Scenery genuinely just copied over the default 787 cockpit and used it in this one. After all, you're allowed to do that. Let me go ahead and put on the battery and see whether this thing is realistic at all. Obviously it isn't, but turn on the APU. Yeah, which we can hear fire up. This isn't necessarily a good model. All of M-Scenery's planes look like they're made out of plastic. That is not a metal reflection right there. Even this text alone looks odd. Like, it's not even the same font that the Boeing 777-9 uses. Now you might wonder, why is this engine flat? Well, all of new Boeing planes have these chevron nozzles that were able to save noise. And actually, it's true, the 777X does not have engine chevrons, because apparently now they're outdated technology, so you don't really need them to make quiet engines or something like that. What I don't get at all is the coloring of the engine. In this model, why is it green? I mean, you could paint it green, but this is what the engine... Why did they make it green? I've literally seen no picture of the new GE9X engines. By the way, the 777 is the first one to use these where they painted in green. The engine model isn't necessarily very good either, nor is any of the other model, but this is like okay. Maybe it would have been better if the nose gear didn't end in like this pathway to heaven why is it light up and the nose landing gear is not even connected to the plane. Yeah, they were never good, these models. Now, is it normal that a landing gear cover is literally as thin as a piece of paper? Either way, this is what the main landing gear looks like. Not necessarily a good model, especially considering the landing gear is not connected to the plane. That doesn't matter. The APU is on, and so our airplane is alive, and this is literally like flying a 787. I don't think that is even too bad because the whole 777X is like flying a 787. I like how the airplane knows where it's at, even though it's not supposed to, because the IR switches are off. So this thing is not supposed to. Hey, but at least it's a usable model. It knows it's a 777-9. It knows it has GE9X engines. That's a start. Let's go and turn the engine on now. So engine number 2, start, which, yeah, that works. It's turning on. And I bet the sound is genuinely just the 787. Either way, you do see the very palpable size here. This thing is huge. Talking about that, And this is where it gets interesting, and this is where I say there's no point in buying this thing. The 777X is known for one thing, and that is that it has a folding wingtip. This wingtip always folds up when on the ground. Now, why is that? Well, we all know that this airplane, one thing, is very big, but also efficient airplanes have very big wings. Look at the A350. Very efficient to have big wings. But this is one problem. Having big wings also means that you're not going to be able to fly to many airports. See, in aviation, there are different wingspan categories for planes. It starts off with the letter A, where a small Piper PA-31 is maybe listed on an airport and say, okay, the biggest you can land with is a Piper PA-31. But it gets really interesting down the line because it ends with F. This is where the big planes are. The planes that are very restricted. There are really only two planes like this. There's a 747-8 and the A380. And they have a big problem, these two, because they cannot land at most airports around the world. Genuine. Most airports, though, do support Echo, the E category, and this is where the 777 series used to lay, at a maximum wingspan of 65 meters. Problem is, like this, with the wingtips not folded, the wingspan is 71 meters. This thing has a longer wingspan than the 747-8. No kidding. But when you fold them up, the wingspan goes all the way down to 64.85 meters. So, with this new folding wing technology that we've never seen before, this thing can fly anywhere, but also have a huge wing. That was a very overcomplicated explanation, I'm sorry. No, generally, it is a bit of a problem when your airplane ends up in the F category. The 747-8 is very restricted. I talked to this with a 747-8 pilot. He said that having this problem, even with a diversion airports, really sucks, and the 777 has solved it. The problem is, this add-on right here is useless. This thing, I'm not able to fold the wingtips. No kidding. Normally, we'd be able to find the wingtip fold switch in the cockpit, right like this. Very simple, just near the passenger sides. They just don't exist here. They're just not a thing. I'm not able to. This thing with these wingtips, with this wingspan, is not in any way able to fly here. Anyway, something that's weird is that I've just turned on engine number 2, which is the right engine. But it turned on number 1 engine. Oh my god, oh my god, how are you able to assign the wrong engine animation? That is the worst thing that I've ever seen. How? All right, let's put the fuel control on. And we hear the engine fire up. Oh, and it sounds exactly like the 787. Oh, they didn't change the sounds, did they? Anyway, left engine on. Yeah, that works. And turning on the left engine turns on the right engine. Oh my god, that is hilarious. Yeah, it's a shame. This plane really doesn't make any sense. All they did was make a 777 model slightly larger and put a 787 cockpit into it. Let's go take off and see if this plane at all flies well. So, put the flaps to 15 degrees. Oh wow, very 787 sound. Let's go! Yeah, strongest engines in the world. I can't really see the power. I do see the immense wing. This thing is huge. Like, you can't deny that. And whoa, this thing takes off on its own. Let's see if we get some... Oh my god. Oh wow, this is the worst flight model that I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, yeah, we're going full power still. And this thing literally feels like flying in like a GTA plane. Let's get the landing gear up like this. Come on, do that, yeah. Let's see the animation. Nothing's happening. Oh, then very quickly something's happening. And the landing gear very quickly enters the airplane. Now, I don't know how they managed to mess up the flight model this much. I have no idea what this takeoff was, but we're able to very much bounce around this plane, which doesn't make sense. I mean, at least the animation of the flight controls kind of work, but really only kind of. The ailerons really barely come out. This is absolutely bad. Something else that doesn't work is the lights. This thing does not have lights, so we've turned on the landing lights. We don't see that here. This thing turns into an ultimate nothing, literally 12 hours a day. This thing does not light up. Why? It's not hard to add lights to your plane, is it? All right, landing gear down again. I want to come in for a landing and try out this one. Let's do it. Now, something that will be interesting to see is whether the spoilers finally work. They don't usually work on M scenery airplanes, okay? And they don't work on this one either. Nope, this thing does not have spoilers animated. Still, also the flaps look very unbelievable. It's 30 degrees down, but that is like 5 degrees of flaps. This is not a lot of flaps. That makes any sense. All right, let's go ahead and land her. Shut up. Hey, maybe this thing lands nicely. I mean, I wish that the landing gear animation was somehow... Look at what I'm able to do here. Landing gear animation was somehow nice, but it isn't. It's not. It doesn't have an eagle claw that you would expect from the 777. God damn it. Oh, by the way, we're next to the runway. Doesn't matter. Let's do a quick landing right here on this very well-flying airplane. It's not flying nicely. So, there we go. Oh, sorry about that little wing strike. Something I want to test right now. What in the world is going on? Why are we able to stand on 2 wheels? What is wrong with this plane? Also, what doesn't work is, ladies and gentlemen, the reverse thrust. I'm giving in full reverse into the engines, but we've got no reverse thrust animation nor sound. This thing sucks just as much as any scenery plane. Why do I keep making videos? It's getting boring! We used the whole runway as well. Come on, stop. Great, and now we've crashed into Maho Beach. Great. First 777X incidents, I guess. You know, I don't want this airplane to suck, but it does! When we go into the cabin of this plane, it probably doesn't have any. No! That is so useless. And you can even see that this airplane doesn't even fit the cockpit. Yeah, this is the 787 cockpit, but you can see they haven't changed the size of it because, I mean, the 777 is obviously quite a lot larger, but that doesn't show here because all they did was like put large windows and a huge dashboard to make it somehow fit into this plane. This is the dumbest thing in the world, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, I can see through the ground now. Look at that. Now look at this cargo hold, extremely dumb, and I wish this wouldn't suck, you know. I really wish so. Let's see if it's able to fly off of short runways. Maybe it is, to be honest, because like this is just not good. Yeah. Yes! Look at that! Wonderful! I don't know how we're able to put the nose. What is going on? Okay, we're doing good. Yeah. No, I'm not even disappointed, though, because this is kind of what I expected. This is not a realistic 777 at all. So, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching this video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, as always. Good night. And special thanks goes out to my members, my supporters. Guns Killer, R27, James Duram, That Dude, Anime Gods of Gaming, Derek, Insider Plane, Nishijutsu Finer, Professional Jamal, Ryland Williams, and New the York. You've got beautiful names.